We'll kick off with the 150 at York on Saturday, the Queen Mother's Cup handicap for lady amateur riders. So, Rob Catson, how do you Paddy Power bet on this one, please?
Right, it's the first of our big money back races as well. If the favourite wins, it'll be money back in the next 3 home. Charismatic Man for Rafe Beckett and Lisa O'Neill's the 4-1 favourite. 5-1 Master Paver, 11-2 Mukayam. It's 7's Azari, 15-2 Purple Rock, 10's Corton Lad and Chancery, 12's Bar.
So you're saying that if you back the winner, if you have a bet and the favourite wins, you get your money back if you back the second, third or fourth?
Yeah, it's 2 races and this is the first of them. So we've been doing it in June so far. I think we're doing it for Royal Ascot as well.
Splendid. That can't be bad, can it? Right, Kills, who do you fancy?
Well, this is one of just several tough races on the cards everywhere. The thing you have to realise about this is some of these jockeys have very, very little experience. Now, Emily Easterby won the race last year. It was only her 9th ride. That was the first ever win. So it can be done. The one I like the most had a more experienced jockey is Chancery, because he's got so much good York form. He's tumbled down a handicap. He's about 15, 16 pound lower than he was this time last year, and he's been running well. I can't tell you too much about Miss Carly Scott claiming 6, other than I think she's with David O'Mara, judging by her Twitter account. And she's only ridden twice, once last year, once this year. I've watched both videos. She looked competent without ever using her whip. Neither of the horses were any good. So it's hard to tell. But this sort of lady amateur riders race, they normally go quite hard, and that will suit Chancery. And if she can keep him close up, he'll be finishing better than most.
I was looking at the past winners, Kills, and it's not like, the Serena Brothertons of this world absolutely dominate, is it? So
no, it's not.
More about the horse and the rider.
Yeah, and amateur jockeys like anyone else, they've got to start somewhere, haven't they? But it's a big day to be riding in a TV race. I think the 2 horses she rode were rated in the 40s and 50s, So this will be a big one for her, but. I do think the horse is interestingly handicapped.
OK, so Kills kicks off with a 10-1 shot in Chancery. DJ, you got a strong view?
I do, Bruce. There's a lot of things we don't have in Ireland, but one thing we do have a lot of are top-class amateurs. And Lisa O'Neill, who rides Charismatic Man, is towards the top of that pecking order. She won the Kerry National last year. Really accomplished rider. And there was one of these races at Ayr a couple of weeks ago, and she won it on high expectations for Gordon Elliott.
She's Gordon Elliott's secretary, isn't she? Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, she does a bit of everything. He said, I remember when she won the Kerry National, he was like, she mucks out in the morning, she drives the van. I think she's a multitasker. But she is a very, very good jockey, and in a race like this, she could be paramount. She won on high expectations for Gordon Elliott in that race at Ayr. And if you actually watch the race, I'm convinced that if she wasn't riding high expectations and one of the others was, the horse probably would have finished 4th or 5th. She was so superior, I thought, in that race. I thought switch jockeys, you have a different result. And Charismatic Man came into my reckoning the last time because it was second to King Calypso at Kempton, and it was a strange race that day because Tyrrell went way off out in front for Fergus Sweeney, and it turned into a real slog, so it did, and King Calypso came from the back of the pack to win it. But Charismatic Man sat second and had to kind of go after Tyrrell because Georgia Cox couldn't let Tyrrell get away, and I thought that run could be upgraded. And I actually think the drop back in trip, it's dropping down a good bit in trip, half a mile, but I think it 1.5 mile handicap at Wolverhampton, and I've always thought that this horse probably wants a shorter trip. So add that to the jockey, and that Rafe Beckett, I think it's had 4 winners in the last fortnight. I think Charismatic Man is actually one of the best bets of the day.
Splendid. You kept the best bit till last. It's Rafe Beckett.
Excellent. Yeah, I think you might need to be getting the old Rafe multiple out against him,
don't
because
worry.
I'd fancy a couple of his later.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent stuff. Great. Rob, have you got a view on this one?
Yeah, I had a feeling DJ was going to beat me to it. Charismatic Man, obviously, he's got the form in the book. Like Lisa, she was on the mark at Leopardstown last night. Obviously, she's a Cheltenham Festival winning jockey as well, so she's head and shoulders above the majority of these. And given the Rafe Beckett form, she's definitely the one to be on, I think.
He's never out of form. 220, the JCB handicap. DJ, you can go first.
Well, I think this Saturday could be a Hamdan Al Maktoum benefit. I fancy a load of his horses running everywhere, and Tanzil is the one that I'm most interested in here. I think I've always thought that he's kind of been a bit of a disappointing horse, and it's hard to believe he's 6 now. But I do think I think this is the perfect type of race for him. Charlie Hills is his team in cracking form. I think 7 is his trip. Now, he hasn't ran for 315 days because I think he was last seen at Newmarket. But I think the trip and the track, it's interesting that they come back to York because its last win was at York as well, over 6 furlongs back, and it hasn't won since 2015. But that was off a mark in 96. It went up to 104. It's back down to 94 now. And I just wonder with Charlie's horses running so well, tongue strap on, I think this could be the day for Tanzil. I think 14's is big.
Okay, Rob, Paddy Power's latest show, and then your tip on the race, please.
Okay, so the latest prices were 6-1 about Mazune, Teodorico's 8s, 9s Get Knotted and Shady McCoy. Support this morning for Reputation, that's now 10s. 12s Above the Rest and Muthawitha, and 14s Bar. And the one I like is Teodorico, formerly obviously trained by Jim Bulger. Took him a while, I suppose, to get set to get used to his new settings, but he's won his last 2, and his last win over course and distance was very impressive, and I think he's obviously now just starting to get the hang of things across the water. So with PJ McDonald on board, it's him for me.
Who for you, Kills?
Oh, yeah. Does anybody remember the last time York staged an uncompetitive race? It just doesn't happen, does it? They just have runners after runners every race. This race, you could genuinely make a cogent argument for every single runner, but I'm going to go with a big price, an old favourite of mine, Heaven's Guest. He's drawn in stall 2. He's dropped way down. I think he was second in the Bunbury Cup last season off 104 on good to firm ground. He's down to 94 now. He didn't run that badly in the Victoria Cup last time, or at Bath before that, and he normally starts to run himself into form. And the one thing about him is his record at the July Cup meeting is stunning. He's won and been placed in the Bunbury Cup three times, and he will not get in the race if he doesn't win. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean he will win, but he is the sort of horse that keeps running himself into form, and at 20-1, I'll take a chance.
Can anyone remember a race in which Heaven's Guest ran and Paul Keeley didn't back it? Your loyalty.
There's quite a few, you know. I've backed him virtually every time he's won, though, so he owes me nothing.
Okay, I bet you've backed all the runners in the 255 Kills, the Best Western Hotels Ganton Stakes.
Several times, loads of cliff horses in here, and again, it's just ridiculously competitive. I was looking at Gabriel. Obviously, I backed Gabriel on Derby Day, and he looked like he was going to get that group race win, and he just couldn't quite make it up. Mondi Elise just looks like he's starting to come back to form. Sparkplug's in good form. But I just wonder whether this Rafe Beckett horse, Golden Stunner, I mean, she won so easily last time. If she gets a 3 on the lead again, she likes the fast ground. I think she's a fair price. What's she around 8 or 9 to 1? Rob?
Yeah, she's 9s, yeah.
Yeah, I think 9 to 1's a fair price about.
It's going to be a Rafe benefit tomorrow. What's the latest betting then on this race, Rob Catterson?
Right. We make Sparkplug the 4-1 favourite. It's 9-2 Thickery at 5's Gabriel and Mondelez, 7's Cafu Semimi, 8's Arabian Hope, and 9's Pulse Horse Golden Stunner. And
who do you like, Rob?
Yeah, I like Thickery at. Obviously, he disappointed on his recent start. Has only run this year, but you go back to his form last year. He's definitely the horse to beat here. Like second to Ribchester in the Jersey. He followed up in a Group 3 at Goodwood. Albeit he's a horse that has disappointed and he's expected to go better. But I think if you forgive him his run at York back in May, he's definitely the one to be on here.
David Jennings, I think you might echo that, given that you think it's going to be a Hampden benefit day.
Absolutely, yeah, and I fancy him in the next race as well. Thickeryat is, I think he's the one with most scope for improvement. Like, if you go through it, I know Paul said about Golden Stunner, he's only a 4-year-old, but I'd just be worried about that race at York last time, because Firmament was second, and Firmament ran a bit of a shocker, I thought, at Leopardstown last night. So I'd just be a little bit worried if Golden Stunner is good enough. I think Thickeryat can run to a level of about 112, and I think it'll be just about good enough. Like, you have to remember that Thickeryat started 7-4 favourite for the Celebration Mile. That was won by Lightning Spear. Arad was third. Now, it was disappointing. I think it was near enough last. Then I think it did finish last at the 5 runners. But I just thought it would come on a ton for its return in May. And yeah, as I said, I think it's the one. It's only 4. I think there could be a little bit more improvement to come from Thickeryat.
Okay, 3:30. The other race that we're looking at today is the Catherine Kinloch Paver Memorial Macmillan Charity Handicap, and Macmillan do a fantastic job. Their charity day tomorrow. Hopefully a huge crowd will give generously when everyone's out there shaking the buckets. Keels, if anyone's got a few quid in their pocket after this race to make a charitable donation, who will it be by backing?
Yeah, but it's a good race. This is, Twilight Sun won it a couple of years ago. And Mr. Lupton beat Dancing Star last year. Dancing Star went on to win the Stewards Cup. It's, I'm struggling to see where the absolute top class horse is in here, but I really did like the way Munro run last time. It's done a lot of running on the all-weather, won 3 of its last 4 on the all-weather, and then it went to Chester, drawn stall 10, had absolutely nowhere to go, and almost got up and won. I think it can be marked up quite dramatically for that run. And again, it's another Rafe. I think it'd go well at a double-figure price.
Go on the Rafe. This is going to be fantastic tomorrow. Rob, give us some latest betting from Paddy Power on the 3:30.
Okay, so I presume DJ's liking the favourite. XTR's 4-1. It's 6's Daniel's Flyer, 15-2 Perfect Angel, 8's Golden Apollo and Carlton Frankie, and 12's Bar.
Okay, and Rob, who'd you like?
Yeah, the horse I haven't mentioned him. It's Codaline. He's pretty unexposed for I think a horse that they think quite a bit of. He's only had the 5 runs. I remember when he won at Windsor on a Monday night at July last year, they were raving about him, and he's run in 3 listed races since, and he hasn't managed to win. But I think that the best days are still very much ahead of this lad. He was 20s last night, and he's only 14s. There's been a few quid this morning for this lad, and at a big price, I think he could cause a shock.
Continuing our occasional series of music puns that go straight over Kills' head. Rob's got high hopes for Codaline. You got it, yeah?
I love that one.
It's a good song, that, isn't it? So you like XTR here, do you, DJ?
Of the 76 Hamden and McToon horse that I fancied on Saturday, XTR is top of the list. How this horse managed to win last time was quite remarkable, really, because the race didn't go to plan really at all, and then it was kind of, it had nowhere to go. Sylvester de Souza rode him, and had nowhere to go. Kind of got a bad old thump, I thought, a furlong out, and got back up to win on the line. It was hammered in the market that day. It was a much bigger price in the morning. Was backed into 3-1 favourite. Keels was saying he doesn't know where the kind of top class horse is. This is where it is. This is a group horse in a handicap. I think he's very good. And even if you go back to his form, like it was second to Battered on its debut, all the form seems to stack up. And I think he will be rated in the hundreds after this race.
Keels, do you want to jump in there? You haven't had a good old scrap with DJ.
No. It's a lightly race horse and could improve. I just didn't get the feeling that there was a really top class horse in this race this year. But I might be wrong.
Okay, competition time every week. We give listeners and viewers a chance to win a free £25 or €25 bet, courtesy of our sponsors, Paddy Power. All you have to do is answer a simple question and tweet your answer using the hashtag Postcast. Monday's question was, who is favourite with Paddy Power for the Queen Anne Stakes? The answer, of course, Ribchester, and the winning entry was sent in by Sebastian Moriarty from Dublin. Well done, Sebastian. Your free bet will be credited to your Paddy Power account.